Thank you so much for visiting our channel today, and I am proud to be able to introduce you to some information that I know that you will like if you are into anything like this. We're going to teach you a little bit about how to identify authentic vintage clothing, and especially when it comes to anything popular such as rock bands, anything such as Disney and other things like Star Wars, and anything that you want that's real popular. I'm going to show you how to find the real merchandise, what it's worth, what you can do to make sure that you are buying the real thing, and what exactly makes it valuable. So we'll go through that, starting off with one of the fine pieces that we do have here that is actually authentic. And just to start off by saying, not a lot of people are making fakes in regards to shirts. So a lot of people say, I can't believe I found that shirt. Wow. It's probably because it's a $200, $300 shirt. They're not going to fake shirts until they're $1,000 and higher, which there are shirts like that. There are valued at about $1,000 to $1,500. That's reasonable for some shirts. Very, 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 very rare. Most shirts will average in the range of about anywhere from $100 to $250. So there are the rare instances where you will find shirts that are $500, $750, $1,000, $1,500, but that is extremely rare. So folks, try to avoid those shirts, because if you are buying a shirt that's over $1,000, there is a chance that it will be faked. But there's ways to find out. So let's start off by showing you the one way to determine if you're looking at a vintage shirt. We're basically looking at a vintage shirt before 2000. Some people will say 2005, 2010. No, I think we're vintage at somewhere around 2000 and before. The vintage shirts that we do have here are going to be in the ranges of anywhere from the 70s, early 70s to the 80s. And late 80s is a market that you really want to concentrate on, because those were the era. Mid to late 80s, early 80s were eras that you can get the most money from. So that's an area that you can really start with. Iron Maiden, let's start off by saying there are certain bands, when it comes to rock bands or any other band genre, that are going to bring in a lot more money because of its popularity. Iron Maiden being one of those. So we're starting off here with the Iron Maiden. This is called the Trooper. It's always good to know your products and a little bit of history so that you can actually give a little bit of feedback when someone resists paying a little bit more for your shirts as well. So here you have your Iron Maiden on the back here. It is the Onslaught of 1983. As you look at it, it just looks like a pretty common shirt. But when you do look a little bit further, one of the ways that you can determine the value of this shirt, obviously in the front here, you want to make sure it's nice to have a trademark. And your trademark, of course, is for Iron Maiden. Now we're going to turn to the back here. And you're going to take a look here. If you'll focus here, you can see on the bottom you have Iron Maiden Holdings Limited, and that's the Great Southern Company, Inc. That's in 1983. So it coincides with your copyright, with the year of the actual shirt here. That's a great sign that you're on the right track to a genuine vintage shirt. Of course, you can take a look on the inside here, and you'll see single stitching, which is a lot of people hear about single stitching, and that's what you're looking for. A single stitching is just nice and neat. It's not double spaced. If you have two lines here, it must be very fine. It should be very fine. Of course, one of the most important things, if you'll notice here on the back, which I'll turn, and now you can take a look here. A very important thing to look for on a shirt, of course, here is a recognizable company such as the Screen Stars, Springford. There's quite a few number of the companies that you can recognize, but as long as it does have a made in the USA, that's always great. And as you can see here, this particular shirt does have a very nice tag. The shirt is in very good condition, which of course we want to mention that condition matters, just like coins. There's certain shirts that not only are desirable, but of course when they are desirable, they're wanted in a near mint or new condition. Of course we have here one I would grade probably about an 8 out of 10. It's actually very good condition. So this particular model, just to give you an idea as to what people say as far as for praising these shirts, they can generally ask for whatever they want on some shirts. That's generally true, but in certain cases you have an average cost of what a shirt should be, and that average is around, like I say, about $250. So $250 is a great price on a shirt that's very, very desirable, in good condition, made in the USA. Does have your logo with your trademarks. All that is a great sign. Your single stitching, of course, tells you it's a vintage shirt, and that's something that you really, really want to look for. And I kind of call that our trifecta when it comes to our shirts. So the trifecta is the kind of shirt that you want to look for. This is absolutely a perfect specimen. And of course, we will now jump to one that we will show you not quite so good. We'll be right back. Showing you the second part of our segment here, which is going to show you the Iron Maiden. Again, this is a different Iron Maiden shirt, but we want to stay right in that same line so that you can see the comparisons of the two. The first one we did have, of course, is the original, has the trifecta with everything that you're looking for. We're going to start off by showing you this particular shirt here and showing you why this is not as valuable. So this particular shirt, of course, is the Iron Maiden shirt. You can typically kind of tell by the material that it is more vintage. It has that vintage feel to it. It is an older shirt, and we're going to show you a little bit of the stitching here, which we'll show you. We have the same thing. That's called your single stitching. So this is a vintage shirt, obviously made before 2000. And this particular shirt here, again, is not a famous shirt. Not too many people have seen this shirt before, but we do know Eddie. And Eddie is the character that Iron Maiden has, and he is driving his motorcycle there and says, "Don't walk." So if you'll notice down here at the bottom of the shirt, the first things you want to do is towards the logo, just look. If you see anything that shows you a copyright, any type of trademark like we showed you on the last shirt, there's no TM or anything at all. So here we're going to show you the back of the shirt, and obviously there is no design, but the shirt, again, from what we're going to show you on the back here, you'll notice, we'll turn this around here for you to see. And this company is known as Pacific, so of course it's an American company, and it even does say here the fabric is made in the USA. So don't be tricked, to be really careful, because if it says made in the USA, that doesn't mean it's made in the USA. That means the fabric came from the USA. Okay, and if you notice down there, it's assembled in Haiti. Okay, so really you're looking at a shirt was not made in the USA. The fabric itself was, and does not have any logos, any trademark, copyrights. Is not a tour shirt, which, folks, let me tell you, if you're looking for a shirt, you may want to look for a tour shirt. There are certain shirts that do gain popularity that were not from a tour or a concert, but nonetheless they can be valuable as well. But if you want to really look for a great shirt, you want to stay with the tour shirts, to be genuine, to be the most value for the dollar, and of course made in the USA. Copyrights. Look for your single stitch if you're looking at something vintage, and also just make sure that you're looking at condition as well when you make your purchases. So remember to start off small. If you can start on any of the genuine shirts, roughly anywhere around $70, $60, $70, that's great. It's getting harder and harder to find anything like that. But a shirt like this, we would appraise this shirt roughly about $30 to $40, and that's pretty much the value of this shirt. So as you can see, a big difference between a $200 to $300 shirt and a $30 to $40 shirt. So I hope that did help you out, and if you do have any questions, please feel free to post your remarks, and we hope that you will subscribe, and we thank you so much for watching our video. Bye bye, guys.